Yeah, it's now recording, so we can start. Here is our presentation. Of course, I need to share my screen first. Okay. I guess you can all see my screen now, so we can actually start. Okay. So guys, feel free to ask any questions, okay? There is a chat box where you can ask things. I'm happy to stop every now and then, so I can briefly drink some water. I don't have to talk all the time, okay? So really feel free to ask. So let's start. Study in Australia. So we're gonna cover a few topics, as you can see. So we're gonna briefly introduce Australia as a destination, the study options, how the application process works, the student visa, the accommodation, and then possible jobs and the 485 visa, which is the temporary graduate visa. Okay, let's go, let's start. So number one, Australia is one of the most popular destinations in the world for study purposes. It's recorded as the 12th happiest country in the world, the third most popular destination for experience abroad, and actually his reputation is improving in the last few years. Top 15, sorry, 3 of the top 15 cities are located in Australia. Overall, we would say we suggest Australia as an environment safe and quality of life, great education system. Of course, it's an English-speaking country, so it's great to improve your English and to add skills on your curriculum. Study options. So today we're going to focus especially on the VET, the vocational studies, but it's good to introduce you also to other study options. The first one you can see on the left is ELICOS, English courses. Briefly, there are several kind of English courses, as you can see. General English, English for Business, IELTS, Cambridge, Demi-Pair, English Plus, and English for academic purposes, okay? But these are one of the most popular study options in Australia. So you can study a vocational study, or better known as professional study, as a certificate, 2, 3, 4, diploma, or an advanced diploma. Higher education, of course, you can study a bachelor degree, you can study a postgraduate degree, such as a graduate certificate or a graduate diploma, and you can study a master degree. On the right-hand side, you can also see study abroad program, which is like a temporary study experience during your undergraduate or postgraduate for 6 months or 1 year. So as said, today, we're gonna focus on the VET, on the vocational studies. So why choose a vocational program? First of all, we work with hundreds of private and public colleges in Australia, okay? So when you choose a course to study in Australia, you first need to understand that not all courses and colleges are open to international students, okay? As a qualified education agency, we are in touch with schools that are eligible for international students, okay? So applying through us, you make sure you find the right college suitable for your needs. First of all, why to choose a vocational program? It's the price, okay? So we know studying abroad could be expensive. To study a vocational course in Australia is not so expensive if you decide to study a vocational program. So as you can see here, there is a price range of $6,000 to $20,000. What's the difference? Basically, the college you decide to study at and the kind of course you decide to study. So we are gonna go through the options later on, but that's a good price range. There are also colleges who are more affordable than $6,000, but there might be some consequences with student visa application, as the very, very most affordable colleges many times are under the target of immigration department as considered not genuine. So as an education agency, we just want to provide good quality courses to our students and make sure your experience in Australia is not affected by bad colleges. Attendance of the vocational programs. This is another advantage rather to English courses or universities. With a vocational program, you only need to attend once or twice a week, okay? So you still have plenty of time to enjoy some free time, to work, to travel, etc., etc. Some courses require maybe attendance more than twice a week. That's if the course requires a job placement, a work component, okay? We're gonna go through these again a little bit later. But in general, consider once or twice a week attendance. Course level, okay? As mentioned before, you can follow vocational program as a certificate 2, 3, 4, diploma, or advanced diploma. What's the difference is actually the academic level of the program, and also the entry requirements. For example, to access a diploma or an advanced diploma, you must have completed at least year 12 equivalent, so high school in Europe. As to enter a certificate, 2, 3, or 4 sometimes is enough to have completed at least 10 years of studies. So even if you drop out school, let's say 2 years before graduating your high school, it's still good to study a certificate 2 or 3 or 4, okay? Of course, every college and every course, they do have their own entry requirements, but yeah, applying for us, we're gonna explain to you how everything works. Another advantage of a vocational program is they are job-ready program, meaning they are very, very practical courses. So upon the completion of your studies, you will actually learn a profession, and you will be able to work either in Australia or in Europe. Moreover, as mentioned before, some vocational courses, they do have internships or work placements involved. Okay, let's carry on. So here we have a list of possible different study options available as vocational. As you can see, we have agricultural and natural science, beauty and natural therapy, building and construction, business, food and culinary arts, hospitality, information technology, leadership and management, marketing and communication, social services, sport and fitness, travel and tourism, visual arts. So the price, the attendance change based on what you would like to study. Now we're going through every single of these study options, and we'll see in details the price, the attendance, and the entry requirements. Any questions so far? No? Okay. So let's start with agriculture and natural science. So the most popular courses related to this topic, as you can see, is the Diploma of Horticulture, Diploma of Agriculture, and Advanced Diploma of Agribusiness. Attendance, it's strict, meaning the college record attendance, and you must go to school at least twice a week, okay? The price is not the most affordable option, but it's still good. So from 10,000 to 20,000 Australian dollars per week. The steps, and these are very common to all courses and vocational option. We first need to place an enrollment, then we get the offer letter. You must submit the payment for the entire duration of the course or the first installment. I'm gonna explain this later. Once you submit the payment and you accept the offer letter, the school is gonna issue the confirmation of enrollment, of better known as COE, which is a document we need for the visa application. Then we can place the visa application. So as a potential career and salary upon completion of the course, you can see here some profession, okay? I'm not going to go through all the profession of all the courses, otherwise, guys, I keep you here until midnight, and I wanna go home as well after this. So the good thing is we're gonna send this presentation to you, and we're gonna share on our YouTube and social media. So you're gonna be able to retrieve all this information and go through the presentation again, so you can focus on your interest area, okay? So let's carry on. Beauty and natural therapy, related courses, you can read here a few of them. okay? I can briefly tell you which are the most popular one. For sure, massage therapy is one of the most popular one, especially for people who do have experience in like physiotherapy from Europe. So they are graduating in physiotherapy, but unfortunately, a degree in physiotherapy in Australia is not recognized, okay? So many of our students decide to go through a massage therapy or a remedial massage course to start practicing in Australia. So it's a great option. And then, yeah, you can see barbering, makeup, beauty therapy, hairdressing, dental technology. Attendance, again, here it's twice a week. We're talking about courses that are very practical, okay? So it's important you attend classes to learn these professions. Here, again, you can see the potential careers and salary. Some example, a dresser, makeup artist. You can see massage therapist is actually a good salary, or salon manager. Okay, let's carry on. Building and construction. So these are some of the most popular courses, and now I'm going to explain why. Here are some examples of the courses. So bricklaying, carpentry, wall and floor tiling, and then the diploma of building and construction. Attendance, again, it's twice a week. It's compulsory because it's a very practical learning. Price from 15,000 to 25,000 per year, okay? Potential careers here is carpenter, bricklayer, and you can read here 485 route available. What this means is, upon the completion of 2 years of studies in one of any of these professions, so bricklaying, carpentry, wall and floor tiling, you are allowed to apply for 18 months of temporary graduate visa, so the 485 visa, so you can work full-time in Australia for 18 months. So many students use this period to gain work experience, okay? And possibly towards a sponsorship or a skill visa application. Here, some of the most popular courses in Australia: business, marketing, and leadership and management. Here you have the list of courses, okay? Very, very good thing about these programs, attendance, okay? So once or twice a week, some colleges are very flexible. So we always suggest our students to attend at least once a week, okay? To get engaged with the teachers, the classmates. It's good for networking as well. But yeah, the colleges are not too strict on attendance as long as the students keep with are good with their assignments, okay? So they keep on track and don't fall behind with assessment and assignments. So very, very flexible study option. Price from $5,000 for $14,000 per year. I think this is the most affordable study option you can get in Australia. I will mention later that all colleges and schools, they do have a flexible payment plan. So you don't have to pay everything up front. You can separate the payments into installments, split the payment in installments. Okay? Here you have the potential careers and salary again. So you can work as an admin assistant or a sales branch manager, social media manager, etc. So this is, again, one of the most popular study options in Australia for people who would like to go and do a flexible course, so attend just once a week and have a limited budget. So yeah, it's actually possible to go there and work to pay towards the installments, which is great. Food, culinary arts, and hospitality. These are very popular courses within some of our students from, let's say, South of Europe, especially Spain, France, and Italy. So they include commercial cookery, hospitality management, the cookery stream, hospitality management, front of the house stream. So if you want to become a manager in a restaurant, and the event management course. Attendance, it's once or twice a week. So usually once a week if you want to do an event management or hospitality management front of the house, or yeah, it's twice a week compulsory, again, because it's very practical if you want to do a commercial cookery stream. Price between $7,000, again, if you want to do the event management or the front of the house stream, up to $16,000 per year if you want to do the cookery stream. Of course, once you graduate, you can work as a chef, as a restaurant manager, as an event planner. Again, food and culinary arts and hospitality is one of those courses leading to the 485. So again, the temporary graduate visa. Not all of these courses lead to the 485. So the hospitality management, front of the house, and event management, they do not. But the commercial cookery, yes. So that's very important to know. I just need to drink some water. So if there is any questions so far? No? Okay, let's carry on.
Hi, yes. Actually, I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm interested in these in the program, and I was wondering, after I graduate, let's say like any of the, if I get certificate, well, whichever level or diploma, is the diploma, is it like, can I get a job afterwards back in Europe, or is it like only is it only that I can get a job in Australia? Is it like recognized internationally?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So basically it depends where you're from, okay? So from any of the Commonwealth countries, studies in Australia are fully recognized, okay? In other countries in Europe or Latin America, the qualification is actually not fully recognized on paper, okay? But employers really appreciate if you did a study abroad experience. And of course, it depends on what you would like to study. So if you complete, for example, a certificate in commercial cookery, and you learn how to cook, you can actually work everywhere in the world. So it is actually recognized, not on paper, but it is. And the same is for hospitality management. So if you run a restaurant, to give you another example, maybe for something that could not be recognized, probably massage therapy. It's something that certain countries do not recognize fully. So you will have to adapt the qualification you got in Australia to your country of origin. But for most of the qualification, I would say yes, you can translate to your country and you could use them to work. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you. And yeah, as I was reading, I was getting the same idea that maybe in some countries it's not recognized, but still that they appreciate that you have such like such a experience from another country. So yeah, thank you for answering.
My pleasure. Yeah, look, as a general thing, I would say when an employer, if you want to use your qualifications to work, when an employer reads you have been studying in Australia, and Australia is famous for its education system, they know you went through some good quality course, so they appreciate it, and I think it's a key selling point on your CV. Okay, I carry on. Next one, IT and computing. So certificate for related courses, again, web-based technologies, anything related basically to IT, web, digital media, information technology, etc. These courses are becoming very, very, very popular because you can actually get a job as soon as you complete your studies. So they are great. The price, still, I think for the quality of the courses and future employability opportunities is one of the best study options in Australia. The price is pretty cheap, $7,000 up to $15,000. The attendance, it's once or twice a week. It depends on the college. And you can see here, like the potential income once you complete your studies. It's amazing. I mean, with an investment of, let's say, $10,000, you might end up in a few years earning like $80,000, $90,000. So it's fantastic. Social and community service. Again, here you have the list of courses. Okay, so aged care, early childhood education, community service. Attendance here is compulsory. Also, there is a work placement included most of the time. So, for example, if you want to become a childhood educator, on top of your attendance at school, you have a compulsory work placement. So you go to a kindergarten and spend some time there. Usually it's 1 day a week. But it's good because once you graduated, you already know the job, you already made the industry connection. So it's going to be easier to find a profession, to find a job in Australia. Compulsory, once or twice a week, as we said. The price from 8,000 to 16,000. Here you have the potential career. And again, 485 route available. That's not for all courses listed here, but for childhood education, yes. So once you complete your 2 years, so your diploma, you are allowed to apply for the 485 visa, 18 months full-time working rights in Australia. Sport and fitness, this is, I think, a very nice option. So if you want to go to Australia and you love sport, it's good. So as you can see, there are 3 courses. Again, the attendance is compulsory because you will basically learn these topics in a gym plus some classroom component. It's a good because on top of learning a new profession, so to become a personal trainer, you also keep fit. So you have most of the time free access to the gym, which is great. The price, 7,000, 15,000. And then here you can see the job. So these are the main one. This is the main one, I would say, the personal trainer, which is good. You know, Australia is a very young country and everyone loves to keep fit. So it's very easy to find a job upon the completion of the studies. Travel and tourism. This is great as well. So going back to the previous question, for example, here you will learn to use some engine tool or booking systems such as Amadeus, which are common everywhere in the world. So once you get qualified in one of these certificate or diploma, you can actually find a job everywhere in the world because the booking system are pretty similar. Price is one of the most affordable options, $6,000 for 1 year. The attendance is twice a week. It could be flexible in some colleges because you don't need to practice so much. So some colleges allow you to do some study from home. The important thing is you always keep on track with your assessment. Possible job opportunities, flight attendant, travel agent, travel consultant. Let's carry on. Visual art. This is becoming very popular again. Here you can see some of the possible studies. Attendance here is twice a week. Again, it could be flexible because it's not really a practical study. Sorry. The price, $8,000 up to $24,000. It could be very expensive because there are some amazing colleges available in Australia. And here the potential outcome for job opportunities. So graphic designer, film and video editor, interior designer, illustrators. As you can see here, the salary is very good. Of course, these are Australian dollars, but again, it's an amazing outcome opportunity. Okay, so as mentioned before, I go back a little bit. Okay, here there is the list of the study options we just went through. We are going to share this presentation. So if you are interested in any of these particular study option, you can either send us an email, contact us, or you can go through the presentation again because we're going to share it with you, okay? And if you have any questions now, I'm happy to go back and show you again the relevant page. So how it works with the application. This is what we need from you to get the ball rolling. A scanned copy of your passport, of course, we need your previous academic documents, okay? So here we mention also the English courses and the higher education courses. So if someone of you is interested, you will know. So if you want to follow an English course, we need no academics. So it's not important if you are a master graduated or you didn't complete high school, you can still study an English course in Australia. For vocational studies, you must have complete high school or at least year 10, which is the third year of high school, okay, equivalent. For a bachelor degree, year 12, so you must have complete high school, or if you are from the UK, A levels, if you are from Germany, the Abitur, etc. For master degree, of course, you must have complete an undergraduate degree, so a bachelor degree. All documents must be in original language, plus officially translated to English. Now, as an education agency, we do sometimes the translation, okay? It depends where you're from, but we can do the translation for you free of charge, okay? And we can certify your documents as well, free of charge, of course. So these are the academics. The English requirement. Of course, all studies in Australia are held in English. So if you want to study an English course, there is no requisite to apply. It's okay. We do work with colleges running English courses from level 1 to level 7, so from 0 to advanced. There is no need to have any English knowledge. If you want to study vocational, you must hold IELTS 5.5 or equivalent. So it's a B2 or an upper intermediate level. Now, most of the private colleges in Australia, they do not require the IELTS, okay? They have a test. Applying through us, we can send you the test from the college before submitting the application. So if you meet the English requirement, great, you can start your vocational studies, no problem. If you do not meet the English requirement, we need to do a step back. So you must go through an English course until you meet the English requirement to study a vocational or a bachelor or a master. For higher education, the IELTS level is higher. So for an undergraduate bachelor degree, 6.0, for a master, 6.5. There are some courses that require higher English level, such as all the health-related courses. Sometimes they do require 7.0. For example, if you want to study nursing, if you want to do medicine, etc., etc. Now, let's go through the steps. As mentioned before, we place the enrollment to the college. We do that together. So we help you to collect all documents here, and then we place the enrollment. You do your English test free of charge. The school will let us know if you meet the entry requirements, so the academics, the English requirements. Once you meet all the requirements, they're gonna send us the offer letter. On the offer letter, you will read all terms and conditions of the college, the payment plan. Guys, sorry, I need to drink some water. So it's a good moment to ask some questions.
So we have questions. Me again. We have a question from Anna who's asking, is diploma at the highest level achievable? If so, is it lower than the bachelor's degree?
Good question. As a vocational program, it's not the advanced diploma, it's a higher level, okay? So you can study, I wanna go back, so I'm gonna show you. You can study from certificate. Here we go. You can see in the middle of the screen, the lowest one, certificate 2, 3, and 4, and then diploma, and then you can study an advanced diploma. Vocational studies are a lower level of a higher education. So sometimes if you complete a diploma or an advanced diploma, you can skip 1 year of your bachelor degree. So you could package your vocational study with higher education, okay? But to answer your question, yes, a diploma or an advanced diploma are a lower level than higher education. Okay, let me go back to where were we? Yeah. Okay. So where were we? About the offer letter. Once we send the enrollment, and you meet all the conditions, we receive the offer letter with the payment plan, the terms and conditions, all details of the course. Good thing, I'm talking about payment plan because you don't have to cover the full cost of the course up front. This is very important, guys. So most of the vocational colleges, they allow you to split the payments into installments. It could be every month, 2 months, 3 months, it depends on the college, okay? So I showed you before, for example, one of the most affordable one was the business studies. So the full cost of the course is around $6,000. Some colleges just require an upfront payment of $1,000, okay? So with $1,000, you can secure a place in an Australian college and apply for a student visa. $1,000 in euro right now with exchange is about 600 euros. So it's definitely an affordable option. The good thing is, once you get your student visa, you enter Australia and you start your course, you can also start working, okay? We're gonna cover the visa features later, but by working in Australia, if you study, for example, a business course, you can actually work and save money to pay the rest of the installments, okay? I'm not saying here that you can fully finance your studies, okay? Because I would lie, and I don't wanna lie. But in most cases, this is possible. It could be possible by working and saving while you are in Australia. Of course, if you wanna do a design course which costs you $25,000, sometimes you're not gonna be able to cover the installments fees by working. But if you wanna do a more affordable course, such a business diplomas, that's possible, okay? So very important. So once we got the offer letter, you need to do the payment for the first term. With the payment of the first term, you need to do the payment of the OSHC, Overseas Student Health Cover, which is compulsory for the student visa application, okay? It's not expensive, but you must pay it in advance for the entire duration of your visa. So again, we're gonna go through the student visa feature later. Once you pay for the first installment deposit and health insurance, we get the COE, so the famous confirmation of enrollment, with a code, and with that code, we apply for the student visa. Great thing for you is you get our support through all this process, okay? And our support is free of charge. We get paid by the education providers in Australia, so the important thing for us is we place the application together, and then you get our free of charge service through all this process. Then, let's say you don't meet any of these requirements or just one of these requirements, okay? So maybe you're still finishing high school, or you're still studying English and you want to improve, etc., or there is a missing document. We can still carry on with the process, but the school, instead of sending a letter of offer unconditional, they will send us a conditional offer letter, which means it stays conditional, so you cannot start your studies until you satisfy the missing documents or the English level, okay? But we can still carry on with the process. Then, enrollment date, and so this is when we apply for colleges or English or universities in Australia. We suggest always at least 5 months or 4 months and a half before they set intake date. If you want to study a vocational or an English program. For university, the process is a bit slower, so we suggest at least 6 months. These, it's not like firm dates, okay? If you want to apply earlier than that, for us, it's just better. So we can take more time to do things properly, okay? So this is a very important slide, I guess, especially the steps here. So if anyone has a question, I'm happy to clarify. No? Actually, I want to drink some water, that's why I'm asking. Okay, let's talk about the student visa. You can apply from 16 years old to, we put 99 because we couldn't put another number, higher number, but yeah, there is no age limitation, okay, which is great. The course duration, very important. We put from 3 months up to 3 years because it depends what you want to study. For an English course, you can study only 3, 4, 6 months. For vocational studies, the shortest course is usually 6 months, but we always suggest to package the 6 months course with another program, because immigration, as you might know, in Australia is pretty strict, and they don't like people going to Australia just for 6 months doing a professional course, okay? Especially if English is your first language or you know English very well. So we always suggest to place a student visa application for a vocational program for at least a 9 months course or 1 year, better 1 year. You can package multiple courses together. So let's say, for example, you want to do a path in commercial cookery. So you start with certificate 3. You can package it with the certificate 4 and the diploma. And if you want, even the advanced diploma. So you will get a visa for the total duration of 2 or 3 years. What's the good part here? You don't have to cover, again, any deposit or any full payment. You just pay in installments, okay? So you just pay during your studies. You don't have to cover the full studies up front. Visa duration. The visa duration is proportional to the course duration. So usually you get either 1 month if your course is lasts less than a year, or 2 months if the course lasts more than 1 year, okay? So 1 month if is less than 1 year, 2 months more than 1 year, very easy. And upon completion of your studies, if your course meets the 485 visa, you can apply and stay longer in Australia as well. Okay, then the cost. This is the cost of the student visa. It doesn't matter the length of your studies. You pay just once, $715. You pay this directly on the Department of Home Affairs website. So we look after the application. We give you all the clues on how to write your statement, etc. But at the end of the day, yes, you must submit the visa yourself on the Department of Home Affairs, okay? What do we need to place a student visa application? Of course, the health insurance, so what we mentioned before. So when you pay for the deposit or the first installment of your studies, you also have to cover this cost, okay? Once you cover this, the health insurance provider is going to send the policy, and we must attach the policy to your student visa application. The good thing here is you get help with the health insurance. So we work with 2 out of the 6 health insurance providers. One is one of the most affordable one, so we can look after these as well, and we do not overcharge anything, okay? So passport, health insurance, the COE, which now you know what is, the GT letter. Okay, this is a very important thing. The GT letter is a motivational letter you must write explaining your reasons to study in Australia, okay? This could be pretty overwhelming, we know. We have a specialized team member who is actually Chiara, who is reviewing and helping students with the GT letter. So we make sure you meet all the requirements for a student visa application, okay? This is very important, and you get our help on this free of charge. Then, these are, I would say, the most important documents. Then it depends on your nationality and the country where you are applying from. You must submit biometric or health examination. So if you are from a lucky country, such as, I don't know, Italy or Germany or Holland, you don't have to do the biometrics or health examination. If you are applying, for example, from France, you must do the biometrics. If you're applying from Romania, I'll give you an example, you must do the health examination and the biometrics, okay? This has an additional charge, so of about, it depends, but it should be around $400, but just to let you know, okay? So it's pretty easy. You must book your health examination with a panel doctor, so a doctor who has a relationship with the Department of Home Affairs in Australia. But you can organize that in a week or two, and then once you've done your health examination, the doctor will look after the process. So it's going to update your student visa application, and you do not have to do anything else. Work, okay, part-time, so 24 hours per week or 48 hours fortnightly, if you prefer, during school. Unlimited hours during school break. This is very important, guys. So, for example, again, let's take the business course. The average length of a business course is 1 year. During this 1 year, you don't have to go to school all the 52 weeks, okay? Some colleges, they do run the course for 40 weeks, and you have 12 weeks break inside your studies. This means you can work part-time for 40 weeks, and you can work full-time for 12 weeks. On top of this, you will get 1 or 2 months at the end of the visa, as mentioned before. For that period, again, you can work full-time, okay? So let's take as an example, again, the business course. You decide to do a diploma of business, 1 year duration. You get a 12 months course for a 14 months visa, okay? So you get a 14 months student visa. You will have to study for 40 weeks. So you study for 10 months out of the 14. For 10 months, you can work part-time. For 4 months, you can work full-time, okay? And I can assure you, working full-time in Australia, you can make good money, okay? If you don't go out and have parties or go to the restaurants every night, which could be expensive, you can actually make good money. And sometimes you can return of the investment you have done to pay for your first term of the school, the student visa, the flight, etc. Okay, any questions about this? Sorry.
No, thank you.
Thanks. So accommodation. So let's say you've done the whole process, you got your student visa granted. It's time to look for accommodation. We always suggest to book accommodation at least 2 months or 3 months before. There is a lack of accommodation in Australia, so it's good to book way in advance. As you can see, there are some options. So hostel, student resident, shared apartments, homestay. We can help you with any of these 4 options. Our favorite one, most of the time, is the shared apartments. So you will get your own room or a shared room inside an apartment with other international students. This is the best option because it does give you flexibility, you know, to use the kitchen whenever you want and to meet new people, etc. Hostel could be a good option, especially for the first few weeks. It's definitely the most affordable option. But yeah, it's not as quiet as having your own bedroom or shared bedroom. Student residence is available in certain cities. Again, it's very similar to the shared apartments. Homestay, it's good if you are very young, I would say. If you are over 25, I would say it's not the best option, as it's not as flexible as the other 3. Okay, where to look? We can help you. Again, free of charge. We have agreements with all of these 4 options. We do work with providers in Australia, so we can definitely help you booking. You don't have to do it through us if you don't want to. You're welcome to book your own accommodation, okay? You can do it through your education provider. If you're doing, for example, a bachelor or a master degree, many universities in Australia, they do have the student residence close to the university, and they can organize the accommodation for you. You can look on the internet and you word of mouth with other students if you already know someone, or you have arrived in Australia and you start your courses and you want to change where you're living, of course, talking to other students it's one of the best options. Good to know, as mentioned before, book in advance, okay, way in advance, so at least 2-3 months before. Share a room, it's definitely cheaper than paying for your own room. And yeah, about share apartments, the landlords and the agencies, they usually ask upfront payment, okay, of 2 weeks or 4 weeks plus a bond. A bond is a deposit. It will be returned to you once you leave the apartment, okay? Jobs. And okay, that's, I think we need to update this. It's actually higher now, but the pay rate, yeah, 23.23 Australian dollars per hour, okay? So it's great, it's amazing. I usually like to speak here in terms of working hours, okay? Just to give you an idea, let's say you on a student visa, you work 24 hours per week, okay? With those 24 hours, earning this amount of money per hour, you definitely are going to be able to pay for rent, okay, for your share apartment, food, transportation, and you can also save a bit of money, okay? Not a lot, but maybe $50 per week, yes. $50, $100 per week, yes. And then remember, you can also work full-time during the school holidays. As you can see here, penalty rates apply for Sunday work and extra hours. So if you work on a Sunday, especially in hospitality or public holiday, you get a percentage more of this. Where to look for a job? Internet, again, word of mouth, door to door is probably the most effective way. So you just knock to restaurants, cafes, leave your CV, and kindly ask for a trial. And yeah, that's the best way. Many industries, delivery, hospitality, housekeeping, babysitting, sales, constructions, but there are many more, okay? To work in Australia, it's compulsory to have a tax file number, okay? It's a social security number. You can do this through our offices in Australia. So we're gonna help you also when you arrive there by visiting one of our offices. We're gonna help you to get one. Again, it's free of charge. If you have your own business or you want to have your own business, you must open ABN, Australian business number, which is great for entrepreneurs. But even if you work in construction, you have experience, and you want to kind of be like a contractor, you must have an ABN. Okay, here very briefly about the 485, the temporary graduate visa. We mentioned it before. If you complete at least 2 years studies in a vocational sector included in the sole list, which is the list with the most on-demand profession in Australia, you can apply for the temporary graduate visa and stay 18 months in Australia with full-time working rights. Just to briefly remind you, it's commercial cookery, some IT courses, childcare education, a trade such carpentry, etc. But yeah, you have the list of the profession in the presentation. Then, this is about vocational. If you do any undergraduate or postgraduate degree in an Australian university, you can be granted up to between 3 to 5 years temporary graduate visa, okay? It doesn't matter the topic you study, okay? The important thing is you study for at least 2 years, okay, in any of the higher education provider in Australia. This is a great way, again, to stay in Australia longer and work full-time and return on the investment of the student visa and actually save some money. Yes, there is a question.
So
Great.
a few interesting questions. You've answered a few of them already, but someone's asking, what kind of work can we expect to get on a student visa while studying?
Okay. I would say mainly hospitality and cafe jobs, okay? the good thing is in Australia, all jobs are paid well, okay? So even if your English is not good, you have no experience, you get this, at least this per hour, okay? But yeah, to answer your question, the most on-demand job for international students are related to hospitality industry. Of course, if you have experience in something different, so if, I don't know, if in Europe you were a designer, but you decide to study fitness in Australia, you can still work as a designer, okay? There is no limitation on the kind of job you can do. Of course, there is a limitation relevant to your qualification, but yeah, beside that, there is no limitation.
Okay, thank you. Someone is also asking, if you extend to a 485 visa, how hard is it to get work without permanent residency?
Oh, that's a good question. Look, that's a very interesting question. Thank you. So it's not difficult in terms that once you graduate, because the 485, the temporary graduate visa, includes jobs which are on demand. So there is a lack of professionals in both sectors. It's going to be easy to find a job. Okay, it's definitely going to be easy. If I think about the lack of chefs in Australia or pizza maker, it's incredible how some of our students really they land from the airplane and find a job straight away if they have experience. So I would say it's not easy. It's not difficult at all. Okay. Then what's the challenge? The challenge is always you do have a temporary visa. Okay, so your employer, unless he's willing to sponsor you and you meet the requirements for a sponsorship, which I'm not covering now because I'm not qualified to talk about it, you are on a temporary visa, so they know you can stay for a limited period of time. So for sure, some employers will prefer someone who has temporary residency or is a citizen. Okay. But if you find an employer who is willing to invest on you and you have the time to show you are a valuable worker because you have at least 18 months, it's going to be extremely easy to find a job. Any other question?
We did so far.
Thank you. We almost finished. Okay. Go study services. I always want to keep these movies on the first page, but then yeah, it stays here because you are all tired and now you're not spending attention on this. But yeah, guys, in a nutshell, we are free of charge for students, okay? There is no difference if you apply for a college or a university by yourself or you do it through us, okay? The only difference is you get our support. So it could be challenging to navigate the colleges, the universities, and the student visa process, especially in Australia. We all know the internet is amazing to get information, but it's also very, very confusing. So we are a qualified education agency. Myself, I've been working in this industry for almost 10 years now. So we can definitely help you in sorting out everything and get the process pretty smooth, okay? So the first step is the consultation, okay? Then you get ready by choosing the city where you would like to study and what. We place the application, okay? So the enrollment, we organize the payment of the first term, the health insurance, we apply for the visa, and then you decide your accommodation. Then get your airplane to Australia, your flight ticket, of course. We open the bank account if you want to. It's free of charge. We can do it for you. So as soon as you arrive in Australia, you just need to register to the bank we send you. We send you also a guide and the connection with our onshore offices. So we do have offices in all the major cities in Australia. So you can attend our welcome session with one of my colleagues in Australia. You can collect your SIM card. We do run weekly job session, so explaining how to find a job. And then we have a WhatsApp group for each city. So you can get in touch with other people from Europe, from Go Study. And yeah. On the spot, we have 5 offices. We do run events and free seminars. We have discounts for a few services, such as the responsible service of alcohol, tax return. If you want to have a chat with a lawyer about migration opportunities, we do have discounts. And then we are there, like from the whole period. You get in touch with me or with one of my colleagues from Europe, and you stay in touch for the entire length of your experience, your study experience in Australia, because we have offices there. So if you need something, even after you complete your studies, and you are in Australia, you can still visit one of our offices, and you will get all the support you need. Okay. Here, a bit of information about us. So we've been around for more than 15 years. We have 15 offices around the world. We have helped more than 40,000 travelers to Australia. We always match the best price, guaranteed, okay? So as said, we do not overcharge anything to the college or the university prices, okay? And we could also match other offer letters from other providers. Then that's it. We have done. Are there any final questions?
Yes, there's a cool question. So someone's asking, does Australia allow students to change from a student visa to work visa if you get a sponsored job before you finish the course?
Good question, and the answer is yes. Yes. So actually, there are a good bunch of our students. They go to Australia on a student visa, and then they find an employer willing to sponsor them, and then yes. Just keep in mind, you must comply with the student visa rules until your next visa is granted, okay? So it doesn't matter if you apply for a work visa, okay? You still have to go to school and pay for the fees of your studies until the next visa is granted, okay? And that could take a few months. But yes, the answer is yes.
I have a question for you, if that's okay. Since someone joined later, maybe you want to sort of like recap and say what are the 3 advantages of studying a vocational course in Australia?
Yeah, sure. Let's go back with the slide. Here we go. So first of all, I would say the price, okay, compared to higher education, it's definitely cheaper. So they start from $6,000 per year, and you can pay in installments. So sometimes you can pay just $1,000 before starting your studies, and then you pay the rest of the installments during your experience in Australia. So first of all, I would say the price. Second, attendance, okay? Some courses are available just once a week, so you have plenty of time to work or to explore the city, to make friends, etc. So that's the second thing, flexibility. Third thing, I would say they are job ready. So some courses, as soon as you complete your studies, you can enter the workforce straight away, okay? Because they are very practical courses. So in a nutshell, price, flexibility, and future employability. These are the 3 main reasons. Okay. Do we have any other questions?
May I?
Yeah, please.
Hi, Francesco. It was
Hi.
quite informative. Thank you so much for explaining in details.
My pleasure.
I'm really sorry I'm not been able to open my video today here.
It's
because
okay.
middle of
Yeah, Lakshmi, we had a consultation, right?
We did. Thank
Okay,
you.
yeah.
I just got caught up with some family emergency and could not get
Yeah,
back.
no worries, no worries.
And I have already emailed you back. And since I got this in my calendar, so I thought, like, let me, take part. So it was quite clear. And I also got a chance to hear about all the courses that you are covering today. I have a couple of questions that I want to ask. So Regarding the, I'm more focused on the, I think the social services kind of courses. Especially, I think you said the child education or something will allow 485 visa. How does that work? If there is a little bit more information, you can quickly give it.
Okay, yeah, I want to go back on the slide.
Yes, please. Thank you.
So, where is it? Here we go. So, yeah,
education care.
here we go. So, the basic information. Then we can go into details, maybe in a one-to-one consultation. But
Okay,
you must study. Okay, 2 years.
Okay.
The 2 years are the sum of the certificate free plus the diploma.
Okay.
So
certificate and diploma is 2 years course.
Yes, the total duration of certificate free plus diploma is 2 years. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Once you complete the diploma, okay, you will be graduated as a childhood educator, and you are eligible for the 485 visa.
Okay, cool.
It's a separate visa application, okay? It's not included on the student visa. You need to place the application, but you are going to meet the requirements because this qualification allows you to apply. And by the time you complete a diploma after 2 years, even if I know you speak very good English, but not everyone, but you must meet an English requirement. And after 2 years of studies in English, you are going to meet also the English requirement. So that's it.
Okay. Right. And
just to add one small thing, as I was mentioning before, there is a work placement component for this profession, okay? So on top of your studies, you must complete 360 hours of work placement, which 99% of the time is organized by the school. So you don't have even take care of it.
Okay, that was my second questions, basically. So you answered already before I asked. Thank you for that. And is there, my last question is quite important for me. That is there any possibility that when you work there, what is the chances? Is this course is considered as a permanent resident leading courses there? If I want to settle there, imagine tomorrow I don't want to get back to Europe. Do you think it is a PR leading course?
Look, I'm not a migration agent, so I cannot, unfortunately, give advice about migration processes, okay? So from my personal experience, what I could say is it depends where you study, okay? If you're going to study in a regional area, okay? You know, regional area, I'm talking about everywhere in Australia besides Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Gold Coast. Actually, Gold Coast, I think, is regional now. The visa rules are more relaxed for people willing to set down permanently. So you have more opportunities, okay? But again, that's from my personal experience. I'm not a lawyer. What I suggest is having a chat with a migration agent, okay, to sort out the opportunities. But this is definitely one of the best options, for a long-term move to Australia.
Lovely. Yeah, those were the courses, and another one is not related to this course, but do Portuguese people need a health charge? Do you have any idea that you talked about around $400 that might cost? Do you have any idea that do we also need to go through the
health insurance, you mean?
No, I think the medical checkup or something that you said.
No, sorry, no, Portuguese people, no, they do not.
Okay.
No.
Okay, perfect. Sure. So those were my questions. Thank you so much.
No worries, my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Do we have any other questions? No? Well, guys, thanks, first of all, from me and from Chiara. And as said, we're gonna share the presentation with you, okay? So you can go through it again. And we're gonna share the video on our YouTube channel if you wanna review everything. thanks again, and be safe. Have a nice evening, and thanks for joining us. And if you have any questions, yeah, just get in touch. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Bye. You too. Bye bye.